Hello and welcome to episode. Oh man, it's been a half an hour since I even typed that. I don't know what episode it is.
You got one job, Briar.
Dude,
One.
dude, I forget after 3 seconds. I literally type it in and then forget.
Mhm. I can't rap on you. I'm a very forgetful person. My wife told me when I came up from my office today at dinner, she was like, "Can you do this thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." I poured
yeah.
myself a glass of water, and I was like, "What did you ask me to?" It's been 10 seconds. The thing. What was the thing?
I thought you were gonna say you poured yourself a whiskey and you completely forgot. I was like, it might be to do with whiskey.
It might be because it was the fourth one.
Spilled water all over myself.
How often do
Still
you
really
guys
well.
walk
Thursday,
into a
man.
room and completely forget why you are in there?
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
I don't have that many rooms, but I'm more like, I don't really walk into a room wondering why I went to a room. It's more like I had a list in my brain of like 5 things that I'm always like, okay, do this, do this, do this. Okay, yeah. Because I'm like trying to keep up with a few things at once. And then, I'll like go to use the bathroom. I'm like, wait, what was I doing? I gotta like redo the list.
I mean, I would think in the bathroom it's pretty obvious.
Well, not like what am I doing in the bathroom? I'm saying because I took that brief break in the rhythm, that I'm like, wait, what was I doing?
His pants are on his ankles. What was I
Yeah.
gonna do in here?
What was I gonna do?
I don't even remember. I'll just pull these up. Get on out of
There's
here.
really only a couple options.
Oh my god!
Honestly, I think my toddler would do that too. He's having issues remembering to be what he's doing in the bathroom.
I don't like the implication.
How was everybody's Thanksgiving?
Are we live?
We are. We're
Yeah.
live. Yeah.
Okay. I was making sure. I'm like, they're yapping and they hasn't even turned it on yet. And I'm like, it's my fault we're late.
Welcome to
Hi.
DCP episode 448.
War
Briar's back.
48.
Wow.
Back from his golf simulation vacation.
Yep.
I gotta
All
tell
right,
you,
there you go.
the golf sim is going well. I gotta tell you.
Okay,
How well
let's
is
hear
it
it.
going?
Good. Good. Yeah.
I
Let's
mean-
hear about it. We need an update.
Look, it's been what? It's been like a month now since I built it, and I'm pretty much done. Like, I might upgrade the projector at some point, but no rush. Like, all of the basics are in place. I have gained 20 yards on my drive.
Oh,
I-
nice, dude.
I think it's just from like playing constantly, like
Repetition.
practicing at home. My irons are, I'm sticking them. I'm like Tiger Woods over here. I can't even joke about that. It's so ridiculous.
But it's true.
But I mean, it's been fun. I've had people over to play, which has been fun. I mean, it's
I
been
think that was the
fun.
last update.
You know when you said it's been a month and I'm done, I thought you meant you're done with the hobby and we're
Oh,
moving
yeah.
on.
It's over.
It's gonna be another Space Marine thing.
Yeah.
The next
It's
hobby.
Warhammer all over
He's-
again.
He's doing Digimon tournaments now.
He's like this.
Gonna
he
be
goes
the
through, like,
best.
2 weeks where he's like, this is the only thing in my life that I care about, and then 2 weeks later he's just done with it.
Yeah. That's pretty much how I work. That sums it up. Every once in a while, don't you guys like check out a hobby and like, okay, that was fun, but like I kind of like
Yeah,
Full
saw
send on it for a bit. Yeah.
Burnout.
all there is to it, like
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
No,
that hasn't
Warhammer,
happened.
I'll be honest with you. Warhammer, I think, was a habit, or not a habit, but a hobby that is not necessarily good for me, like personally. Like it's a lot of sitting, it's a lot
Yeah.
of like non-activity.
Squinting.
Sedentary.
Yeah, and like I'm not looking to pick up any more sedentary hobbies, honestly.
It's a good point.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Mhm.
All right, we'll buy that. That's a good
thank
excuse.
You, thank you.
You worked on that pretty hard.
I
think,
don't
and
buy
we'll-
it. You got a
we'll take
golf
it.
sim. You just remove
Wait.
walking from golf.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. And Myelin, I have like you can do exercises on your Apple Watch,
Yeah,
and you got to fill up the rings. I'm not gonna lie to
Use-
you. I click it for golf sim.
Oh my god.
That counts.
There's
I'm
no
going to the
there's no
gym, though.
activity in Apple Health that's like golf sim though, is there? Or
No, I
like
just
golfing?
click golf.
Yeah. But like it thinks you're like, meaning you have to choose a workout, don't you? Like, do you choose, like, do
Yeah.
you claim you're playing tennis or something? Or like,
No, golf. Golf is a workout
it's
in there.
oh, it is. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, what's the difference between playing in my sim or riding a cart?
Exactly.
Are
Yeah,
you
it gives
gonna
you
put
golf
a-
cart,
Which-
yeah.
Are you gonna get a golf cart just to complete the aesthetic?
You
put
are.
it
That
in
was
the
my-
I mean,
garage?
look, we are
Mm.
talking dreamscapes here,
Yeah.
but if I could own my own golf cart, I for sure would. Like, for
You
sure.
Briar?
Listen,
My-
Briar, you don't have to shoot for the stars to own a golf cart. You can get one of those
Yeah.
pretty cheap, bro. He's
My-
like,
Yeah,
he's
it's
like,
probably
if I,
cheaper
if
than
I
your
could have
projector.
anything in the world, it would be a golf cart.
You kind of built the golf sim, which is the more expensive aspect of this equation.
Building the clubhouse as a detached part of your garage, that's the expensive thing. The golf cart's not a big investment.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be my primary source of transportation.
Yeah.
You know, like what else?
Just
Now
put
we're
a
back
bus
to
over
the
the
not-
grocery store.
Yeah. My mother lives in like a condo complex that has like a golf
Oh, yeah.
course and like all like a clubhouse and like I'm like, if I lived here, I would 100% buy a golf cart because like
Oh yeah.
you can just stay in the complex. Like you don't.
I mean,
need
that's
to
what they
leave.
tend to do. Yeah.
They're very common here because we've got a lot of in my neighborhood there's like walking trails that connect like 5 different neighborhoods, and then that walking trail then connects to like 2 different parks and a couple of hiking trails. So it's like everybody's got golf carts around here. I don't,
Really?
but yeah, you'll see golf carts going up and down the roads because everyone's getting lazy with their kids. And my kids, I swear, my kids like the only ones riding bikes. Everyone else is on those motorized bikes or
Yes.
golf carts to go see
Oh,
their
yeah.
friends. And
Yeah.
my kid's like, "Can we get one of those?" I'm like, "No, ride your dang bike."
Yeah, we got a
And I'm
lot
a
of
mean
electric
dad.
scooters around these parts. You
I
seen
know.
those?
Like, what kind of a childhood is that? Getting on an electric scooter? That's not
And who
real.
can afford an
Fake
electric
childhood.
scooter? They're like $1,000 each.
I know,
They
that's
are
what I'm saying.
expensive.
There's a kid in our neighborhood who has a go-kart that looks like Mario. It looks like a Mario Kart. It's like shiny. Like I swear his dad polishes it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And that thing
That's a parent who
cruises.
loves his child.
Or that's a parent that's willing to spend $2,000 to never see their kid.
Yeah, that's
I don't know. 'Cause that
Jealousy
kid's
is
just
just
cruising
stealing
around.
cologne.
Money well spent.
And yeah, I'm like, that kid could stand to take a walk or two.
Throw
Oh,
a
but
banana
he
peel at him next
flies.
time.
Right. Throw an apple, banana like that. I should do
Just
that.
remember his name so you can root for him in F1 in 15 years.
Right.
So you guys were playing a game. What game were you guys playing before the podcast?
Elden Ring, Nightreign.
New DLC?
Mm-hmm. New
Hallowed.
DLC.
What's it
The
called?
Forsaken
Hallowed.
Hollows.
What's new
that's-
about it?
There are 2 new characters. There's 2 new Night Lords, which is the big bosses at the end.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of bosses that have been added. So you've got like Moog in there. You've got Dancing Lion.
Oh.
You've got Artorias. You've got a ton from across like Dark Souls, Elden Ring. They're all in there. And there's also a new map, but it's a new map and it's not a new map. So if you're familiar with Elden Ring Nightreign, it has stuff called Shifting Earths. And you go into the same map as you always go into, but there'll be like a small area of the map that will be different, and it's like an event that you do.
Okay.
This is a new Shifting Earth, but when you have that Shifting Earth active, you go to a new map. It's an entirely new map
really?
that you're playing on. Yeah.
Oh.
It's got new events that you have to do. You have to like break crystals in order to break the crystal curse. And there's a bunch of like forts around the area that if you don't have this thing that breaks the crystal curse, you get crystallized and you die if you're in there.
That
So you
sounds
have to
bad.
do this thing, break the crystal curse, and then you can go into all these like really, really cool castles and do different things in there.
So to be
Wasn't
clear,
there an
it's,
old
you
NES
don't
game
load it.
called Crystal Curse.
There was
Sounds
something Crystal. Almost feels like a Kirby game. That might have been Crystal Dreams. Anyway, so Watts, to be clear,
Yeah.
normally in Shifting Earth, right, it's like Shifting Earth is active, and when you load in, there's like a fiery pit, and you go there, and you can go down deeper into areas you've never seen.
Yeah.
With this, when it's active, I assume like the round table, it's all like active, right? And then you load into an entirely new map, not
Yep,
the old one at all.
Correct.
And
correct.
is it as big as the old the main map?
I would say it's hard to say because it's super vertical. It's got a
Oh, okay.
lot of
like a tower?
a lot of vertical space, a lot of stuff underground. There's a ton of vertical space, but it's definitely
Vertical
like
space.
triple the size of like a regular, shifting Earth. So when you think
It's
about how big
substantial.
the city is huge. So
Yeah.
it's a lot bigger than that. So yeah, it's essentially a new map.
How do they, like, lore wise? How do they explain all of these bosses existing in this other separate game? Is
It
it like
doesn't
the
follow
same?
Elden Ring lore.
Okay, so it's like
Yeah,
a
Nightreign has its
disconnected.
own lore.
Okay.
Although there is some stuff like, some characters will mention like, oh, I'm from this town or I'm from this like sect of people and that's a sect of people that's in Elden Ring, but
Okay.
everything else is like pretty separate lore-wise.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, we were playing that. Myelin did really well. The
I
reason
don't
we were
believe that
late,
for a
I was
second.
like, we're doing the new map. The new map's really hard. And the new like end of night bosses are also really hard. So I'm like, we might not even make it to the boss, to be honest. It's been rough. But we did really, really well.
And
You don't
refresh my
have to
memory.
be nice to him just because he had a baby.
We did. That's the best we've done. I've only fought that boss twice, but that's the best we've done.
And you had Adam Scott carrying you. That's pretty cool.
We did decide Dimitri. Oh, I didn't. TV decided that Dimitri
Yeah.
sounds
Dude,
like
it's
Adam Scott.
uncanny. Like, go back
gonna
and
have
watch
to
the
listen-
VOD
I'm
and
gonna
tell
have
me
to
I'm
listen.
wrong.
Parks and
Yeah.
Rec, Severance. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Uh,
listen to his voice and listen.
Okay. Nightreign, though. Remind me with the Wayfarers, there was what, 2 new Wayfarers? Was that
There's
with this
2
update?
new Nightfarers. Yep.
So you haven't played them until like what was it, today or yesterday?
Technically today.
Like they
but
just
also
came out.
yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But
There's
it's 2 new
a
ones.
one's called the Undertaker. She is an abbess nun, like the head nun. And she is a strength faith character. She prefers
Ooh,
hammers.
That's usually what I get.
She can be
Hammers?
pretty fast. Yeah, she
Sort of
rips out
paladin-y.
she's kind of more like a more battle-y than like paladin, I would say. She rips out a spine from her mouth and flies at the enemy with it and stabs them.
From her mouth. That's how
That's
I
pretty
keep my
metal.
spine.
Lovely.
And then pulls it out.
Hmm.
Just
Mm.
licks the wall sometimes.
Do the
I'm sorry,
schnozberries taste like
did you say-
schnozberries?
Did you say lick the wall?
She licks the wall
Schnozberries.
sometimes, yeah. Yep. But she
Good for her.
she has an ability where when she pops it, it will like refill all of her stamina, and then it will make her like a little bit faster, do some more damage. And then her ultimate is she flies at them and hits them, but she can use her ultimate within a 3-second window if anyone else on her team uses an ultimate.
Oh.
So you can stack that really nice, and that can be super fun.
Oh.
The other new character is called Scholar. He is an arcane character, all in on arcane. He reads a lot of books.
Also, I like that.
That
Books.
Books.
A lot of books.
Must be
Checks
a
Into
out.
the
doctor.
Books?
That checks out. Anybody get it? Never mind.
And he
Checks
can
out,
like
like a
analyze
library.
the battlefield. Basically, like a big circle kind of fills on an enemy, and then you can choose to debuff them or buff your teammates. And then his ultimate is he links everyone together, and then any damage that you do does to everything on the field. When you're healing, it heals everyone on the field. When you're
Oh.
attacking, it's healing. Yeah, so it's
Like a
really
real
nice.
support character.
Interesting.
Yeah, but then the most fun thing about him, I think, is he can carry more items and he can level those items up. So you can throw pots throughout the match and you can get your pots to like level 3. So you can have super beefed up pots. And you can do that with
Beefed up pots.
every item in the game. The bell, healing items, buffing items, yeah, everything.
So
Does
it's
he have
sorta
to
like
go anywhere
roguelike.
to level them up, or can he just go in his
No,
inventory and level
You just
them?
use them.
And
just
you
have
just use
to use them.
runes? Or
Items.
like what? Yeah, but like to level the items up, do you have to use a currency?
No, that's his passive. You just use them.
Oh, right. It just gets beefed up.
Yep. Yep, you
How's
just use them.
How's the reception been from the community?
Um,
You chuckle. Is that a hot topic?
What?
Sounds
How's the
controversial.
reception for anything anymore?
Seriously. No, I was saying I actually am not sure that people who play video games like video games. I'm actually not sure. So people who are enjoying Nightreign, they love the new characters, they're loving the new bosses. Like it's such a big breath of life into the game where you have new relics and you've got new stuff to hunt for, and learning the new map is really fun. But then the current reviews on Steam are mixed. And the reasons that they are is people wanted some like Shadow of the Erdtree weapons and magic, and that's not in there. And that's really the biggest thing that I've seen. And then people being like, it's hard to traverse the map because it's vertical.
Verticality aspect.
Yeah, so
They
people
just wanted weapons, which is like the only area that they didn't add anything to. They gave you a map, they gave you characters, they gave you bosses, but not enough weapons.
It's $15 for a
Right.
$40 game. And it
not a
seems
huge
like
investment.
people were expecting a lot. And honestly, like getting a whole new
God.
map with new, like the two new bosses are brand new bosses. Even
My
the
God,
bosses that
dude.
they brought back have new mechanics. It's really quite a substantial update for $15, especially. So
Well,
I think I'm
Some
having
people
a
have
blast.
price complaints about it. Yeah, I mean it's
So there's a lot of mainstream games out there that will drop a legendary skin for
yeah,
$20.
I mean, come on. Yeah, like,
You get no
they're
content. You just change the
all
way you
those
look.
same people are playing Arc Raiders and then buying some dumb skin pack that's not even that good. Yeah. That's I mean
You
that's
leave
why
Arc Raiders out of this.
that's why like honestly you guys have heard me say it before, but like I like to hear about how is the game? Everybody's price, is different and it's so subjective. So it's like when people start complaining about what they expected based on the price, like I get that it's subjective, but it only applies to you. And so it's like, well, maybe you should just think about what the gameplay is first. But anyway.
I think it's great. And the map is also so different because you don't have any Everjails anymore, so you're not getting keys to
Oh.
open Everjails. There's a lot of locations that actually are not marked on the map that can give you stuff. So it just plays very, very differently. Which is, adding a new map is great, but if it was a similar kind of thing, it's like, oh, okay. But this is a completely different gameplay experience. And then, also, there's new invasions. Like the first boss, Tricephalos, the like box wolf thing, he will invade you. The ice dragon can also invade you while you're playing.
Really?
Did you say the boss's name is Tricephalus?
Yeah.
I don't think
Or
I will.
Tricephalos or something. Yeah.
Tricephalos. I think that's how you
Tricephalus.
say it.
Not even
It's
once.
That's even worse
Not
than
even once.
trigonorrhea.
That is worse. It's definitely worse.
Try the clap.
There's also new.
I have. Don't like it.
Was not a fan.
There's also new places of interest. So there's like little towns that you fight a boss, and then you can like fire up a forge, and you can change the skill on your weapon. So if you've got a really good weapon, it's got a really poop skill, you can try and see if you can get a better one. There's also
okay.
swamps: the Scarlet Rot swamps, Poison swamps, Sleep swamps, Blood swamps.
Those
They
all sound
added-
terrible.
Every swamp.
As they should be. You're playing
You
Elden
get a
Ring. I mean,
swamp.
you're supposed to be miserable. I mean, that's how it works.
And there's
Yeah.
a story online on it was like an interview with the devs, and they said that they weren't really sure if they wanted to have swamps in the game, but someone came and put swamps in the game. So I'm
does
just
that mean?
picturing Miyazaki walking in and being like, put in 8 swamps.
You don't got any swamps.
And then
Okay, that's a
then it just-
problem. Gonna need to-
we had something crazy happen. So we're playing with 3 people, right? There's an invasion of the new boss, which are called the Balancers. It says the Balancers are deciding fate or something. It splits us up into 3 completely different swamps across the map, and we have to fight a couple of these bosses because there's 7 of them. We have to fight some of these bosses by ourselves in the swamp and defeat all these enemies in the swamp by ourselves, and then we can get back together. So I was like, that was a thing to be sprung on us. I was not prepared for that. Lots of
classic
Dying
sword holder move. Like, all right, it's your hero moment. Everyone, you got to pull your weight.
I was
Yeah.
thinking that's like a classic anime arc where the team gets split
Yeah.
up and everybody has their own boss fight.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really hard because in the swamp you can't run, you can't really jump, you can't roll. You're super slow. You're getting poisoned or you're getting slept. But it was really good. It was really fun.
Swamps are the worst.
Oh, it's yeah. So this
I'm running
is
a D&D campaign right now in a swamp, and it's all status effects. They're ready to be done.
Ooh, this sounds fun.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it. It continues to be a super freaking fun game. I never expected to, like it as much as I do, but now I've got 120 hours, which is like peanuts compared to lots of people playing the game, and I just want to play it all day.
Still a ton.
That's a good feeling.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
I mean,
fun.
on the price thing too, I wanted to say that, like, one, obviously I haven't played it, so like I couldn't really comment on the value necessarily, but I remember playing just the base game, and I was like, holy cow, like they gave you so much for, if you were just looking at price expectations. And to me, like, I'm just like, I feel like Elden Ring, it's kind of Elden Ring, Nightreign can't do any wrong in the sense of like, you've given us so much already, so adding a couple more classes and like a new map of some kind, that sounds pretty good to me for $15. But like,
no microtransactions either, right? So
No.
it's like,
Yeah,
which is also nice. Yeah,
Arc Raiders was the same price and it's got microtransactions in it.
maybe say more. There's no stupid battle pass. I'm so not going to go off on my usual rant, but people who watch me know.
There's just
how
new
much I hate it.
outfits for the new characters.
Why are you going to keep playing, Fran, if there's no battle pass, mate?
Oh, because the game's good and fun, and I'm not just mindlessly
What could
grinding for
possibly
some
keep you playing?
But it's
dumbass
so
skin
hard
that
to
I'm
make
never
a good
going to
and fun
use.
game.
Oh man,
Why would I play for fun?
Yeah, dude, I get real beef with it. Like, Arc Raiders, as great as that game, it just bothers me so much. Like, it's an extraction game, all about getting out gear and stuff. And it's not a big deal, but they like give you gear, part of the dumb battle pass thing. And like, anything that's reasonably good is you got to pay in the store anyways. Whatever. I just think it's ruining games is all I'm gonna say on that. But
I've got a
Here,
great
here.
battle pass story. I got a great battle pass
Super
story,
weird.
but it's NDA.
Oh.
Gotta wait till the show's over. But
Okay.
the point is,
I feel
Elden
like
Ring,
you'd
Nightreign.
like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
make a
I'm
mental note for
excited.
later.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
excited.
Don't forget to tell us later.
Other stuff that's new. So we just launched. I know that I'm like the one guy that's still playing Marvel Rivals in the group. They just launched a new
Oh, yeah.
season. We got Gambit in the game now. One of like the fan favorite X-Men. Throws the
Ding.
cards. He's the Cajun guy. Throws
I
the
love
cards
Gambit.
with kinetic
So
energy.
cool.
Yeah. He's really cool. They made him a support character, so they they're playing around with lore in game, cutscenes and text. Well, they do it like comic book style, right? They give you have a gallery and they have comic book pages. So if you're interested in that stuff, you're like, whoa, how did Gambit end up being a support hero? He's more of like a DPS, right? Well, he like makes a pact with the game master where he's gonna go steal something from Mephisto, and part of the deal is that he gets access to like two sides of his cards. So one is damage, one is healing. So he's kind of fun like that because you can switch back. He's like a hybrid character. And they're trying to encourage more support players to really lean into that role. And they've had a problem in the past with like seasons where dive characters are just oppressing your healers, and healers were like, this is awful. I don't want to do this anymore. I just have Spider-Man on my butt the whole time. So now they're getting creative with their support healers, and giving them access to, like, he's got two kits in one. So when he gets dove on, he can just switch to the other side and be like, all right, you want to brawl? Let's brawl. Let's do it. Yeah.
The real question is
fun.
it Channing Tatum Gambit? Or is it?
Thank God it's not. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Everyone's like, yeah, he was so great in that movie. I was like, he was horrible. He was like the worst Gambit I've ever seen.
I'm kind of with you, TV.
Yeah.
I did not understand the Channing Tatum love in that movie.
No, nothing against him. I was like,
That's
bro,
what
this
makes
is
it
terrible.
funny. I think it makes it funny because it's so bad.
It was
It
just
is
funny,
so
yeah.
bad.
It was like a meme
Yeah.
of the character, really.
Yeah.
But the game's it's fun because the game is really evolving in a lot of ways, outside of just being, a hero shooter of sorts. a full season ago now. They launched this Halloween event that was Marvel Zombies, and everyone expected it to be pretty simple. It ended up being a really baller PvE event, and it got so much love and attention that they were like, okay, well, we have so many people still playing this, and it's like it like doubled their player count on Steam charts. They're like,
Wow.
we can't turn it
Wow.
off. So they gave it like a 3-week extension. Then they gave it another extension, and then just yesterday they announced we're going to give it another 7-week extension, and we're committing to making more maps and more boss fights and bringing more heroes to the zombies roster as well. So that
So
game
what is
mode,
it? Just like a horde mode or what?
yeah, more or less. It's got different stages. You start pretty basic, where you're progressing through this through New York City. Skyscrapers all around you, and you go to different parts of the city to have these different waves coming at you. But then once you've leveled up your character, so it's kind of like a deck building roguelike game in each match that you play, but then you also are leveling up your character permanently as well with each time you play it. So you're getting stronger, you're getting access to new abilities and skill trees, and you're making your zombies build outside of the match. And then you take that build into the match, and then you have this full deck of cards. And every round you're handed, you've got like a certain, let's say it gives you 20 currency, and it'll show you 3 cards, and they're random, and it could be like your gun does more damage. This one reduces incoming damage. This one increases the damage output of this specific ability you have. This one gives you an augmentation to an ability you have. So you're trying to pick and choose how you're going to spend that money. You could decline all of the cards and just refresh the page as well for currency. So it's really no 2 runs are exactly the same in that regard. But then they also decided to, once you get to the highest level, where some of these waves, it's like the highest difficulty level is 20 waves with 4 boss fights, and the final one is like 2 bosses on the stage at once. And the waves are like 1,000 zombies at a time. So it's pretty intense.
Oh, wow.
And then they introduced kind of like Destiny did with, we're going to give you a special title if you can solo clear a dungeon flawless. Like that was the thing in Destiny, right? Solo flawless dungeon. Well, Marvel Rivals kind of took that idea as well and implemented it with the zombies mode. They're like, you can turn off matchmaking and go in solo on Nightmare 4 difficulty. And if you can clear all 20 waves, we'll give you a special title that'll be on your nameplate for everybody to see. Really cool stuff. And it's gotten so much love. I expected it just to be like this one-off thing and not last. And so I just needed some content to fill the week out, So I was like, I'll make a guide on my solo clear for this character. And my Magic solo clear guide now has about 120,000 views.
Wow.
The game mode, it's just for a side game mode. It's like people are loving it. So they're fully committed now. They're like, okay, we're just going to run with this. We're just going to make this a thing. It's kind of like the Diet Fortnite experience where Fortnite was like, hey, throw a battle royale out there. Oh, you guys like this? Okay. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, I love that.
Is there crossover between any progression in PvE and PvP? Or is it just like the emblems or titles you're getting as a reward?
Yeah, so just the emblems and titles and stuff like that you achieve in the PvE stuff, that's all displayed in PvP.
You get cosmetic
currencies.
It's all
cosmetic.
And stuff like that.
Yes, so actually you can, it's totally free. The event itself is free. And then when you achieve a certain accomplishments in the game, this is one of the things I really like about Rivals is they're really generous with the currency. Yes, you can throw money at the screen to buy all the skins. But if you're a normal player that's like, I only have enough time to master 3 characters, you could basically never pay real money because these achievements that you can get in the free-to-play modes actually award you real currency in the game that you would buy for real money. So my wife, for example, she's bought 6 skins at this point, and she's got, I think last I saw she was at about 250 hours in the game. She's bought 6 skins and she's never paid a dime, and they're legendary skins. It's just because she's just playing the game and earning the free currency and spending it where she wants to. So that's one of the things I appreciate about the game.
Yeah, I love that. I
Interesting.
love that they saw success with such a different mode to what they, the core of it is, and they decided to run with it. That's great.
Yeah,
Because we've seen stuff similar to this that hasn't gone well. Like Rainbow Six Siege did something similar where they added a zombie horde mode for Halloween. I don't think it really got any traction from it. You know, like people didn't really gravitate to the, you know, have a sort of fun PVE mode.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
was really happy
Arcade
with
is
the
going through the
reception, for
same
sure.
conversation right now with PVE only mode. Like,
Oh, are they?
What is?
What are they doing?
Arcaders.
Oh,
There
yeah,
is
man.
nearly every single video I make, there will be multiple comments saying, I love the game, but I hate PvP. Give us a PvE only mode. There's a, I mean, I'm interested to see, like, is it a loud minority or if it's just, I think Arc Raiders is people's first extraction shooter, and they just don't like extraction shooters. Like, they don't like the PvP aspect of extraction shooters. But to give Embark credit, they've built this like really cool world, and originally it was a PvE game, and so like the enemies, the AI, and like a lot of the aspects are PvE orientated. There's like world bosses that you work together on, and community puzzles and stuff like that. You know, so there's all these PvE elements that people enjoy, and a lot of people are requesting almost similar to what Marvel Rivals has done, is like give us a PvE only mode. Arc, right? Like Embark hasn't really officially responded, but they did release like their documentaries, which episode 1 is basically, this was a PvE game. We tried to make it a PvE game. We didn't feel like it was quite right. We added PvP and it felt like there was the missing flavor, and that's kind of where we're at. So reading between the lines, that, you know, I don't know. I highly doubt they would do something like adding a PvE only mode.
Correct me if I'm
Dunno.
wrong, but it kind of seems like a lot of what I see on Arc Raiders and what I see from the popularity and why it's so popular is the interaction with other players when it comes to like grouping up, taking on PvE maybe. But it's that thing of like, if you took all that tension away of if this person is going to be a good or a bad guy, and you're just like, oh, hey, random person, want to go shoot robots? Doesn't that kind of kill some of
So like, I'll give you
good
the
stuff of Arc Raiders?
easiest example of why the current game wouldn't work with it. And we've all seen this happen before in Destiny, right? So like, if you need to make money in the game, there's like a wipe coming up, so you want to get some money for the game. One of the hardest maps they introduced in the game has like more difficult AI. It's all like corridors, and it's heavy PvP, but the loot is like incredibly good. If you can survive, you'll get out with like a lot of money. So what you can just do is pretty much abuse that map, load in with a free kit, keep respawning if you don't get the right spawn, wait until you get the spawn on like some of the best loot, gobble it up, and like extract straight away. The only thing preventing you from doing that is other players killing you. Otherwise, if it was just PvE, you would just like,
Free reign, yeah.
I know that's what would happen. It'd be like, this is the most effective way to get money. I cycle through the map until I get the spawn. I intentionally die until I get the spawn. I grab
It takes
the
the
loot.
gaming out of gaming. Yeah.
Right. So, and you know, that's okay. Like, that's what people do in PvE games, but the complexity's not there to support PvE only options. And it's like, you know, the world bosses and stuff are incredibly fun. And it is frustrating to get killed by other players when you're trying to take on a giant boss. But by themselves, like, everyone would be so looted in PvE. Like, it would need a lot to get to a point where I think PvE only would be substantial enough to satisfy PvE players. I mean, if you look at like all like criticisms of like Destiny 2 and all that kind of stuff, you look at like how much content PvE players get through. Destiny, Borderlands 4, Warframe, like there needs to be quite a substantial grind there. And PvP does a lot of heavy lifting to keep players, you know, moving around. Yeah. Go on, Fran.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I think it's the devil's in the details, and a PvE only mode is a great suggestion. And in fact, the game, as we know, was supposed to be that, and that it was going to be free to play, and like so, like they can deliver. I think anybody would agree that the core feeling of the game, and it probably comes from that of like you're fighting a rocketeer, and you're like, oh my god, this felt so fun, and somebody comes up to you, like shoots you in the back, and you're like, all right, well, that blows. Like I just lost like 2 hours, but that's like extraction games. But that being said, I mean, I think a PvE only mode is a great idea, but it probably needs to be separate. It's got to be really good. It's going to have its own balance probably. And like, I don't think, and you can't blame them. There's a lot of players who are just frustrated with stuff like I mentioned, and they're like, oh, but I really like this component of it, and I feel like I can't play it because it's so punishing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that if you play it the other way, that it's not super enjoyable, right? I think it's just like the DNA of the game is not what they want at all right now. But I do think there's room for it. I just don't know how they would, support the current game and then also introduce some new, like, say, co-op strike mode where you go in 3 people, etc. Yeah,
like I think there's lots of stuff they can do without like
new
massively
maps,
impacting the game. Like I think I've brought up Warframe a couple times as an example. Like when Warframe launched, it was just kind of the core loop of strike missions, right? And then eventually it got successful enough. They started adding these crazy campaigns that were just so enjoyable, real voice actors, real cutscenes, and like really good sci-fi. And I think it's one of the weakest aspects of Arc Raiders. And like, I think they probably have the cash now to like, you could do a PvE campaign in there to tell the story. I'll be completely all right with going through a campaign. I think that would be really engaging. There's other things they could do as well to, rather than eliminate PvP, encourage PvE. I think another good example is like one of these world bosses, a giant like spiders. You have to work together to destroy this thing, and there is a single blueprint on the core. So when it goes down, you have to rush the body, search for it, and extract with this single blueprint. And so what it encourages is everyone works together. As soon as the boss
then everybody
dies,
kills each other.
everyone starts blasting each other, which is frustrating, but also hilarious. It can also be really fun too. But like, it goes from PvE to PvP. You could encourage more PvE by rewarding players for contributing to damage to the boss. And there are some systems that are already like that. Like if you bring in gear and you do 20,000 damage to the boss, maybe you get a chance of it just dropping anyway in your end screen. And there are a couple of systems that are already in place that kind of do that. They track how much damage you do to different things, and it gives you a reward based on that, right? Right now, there's not a system for that. So what people do is you don't bring any gear in, you don't risk anything, wait for everyone else to do the work for you, and then you just rush the core, and hopefully you get there first and you get it before someone kills you. So I think they could work out ways to incentivize PvE, and if people still want to PvP, they can, but there are things like that. I think they could, social engineer PvE into the game even more to give people that experience. But if you want to, shoot someone in the back, you can still do it.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say is like I think you can take any game and start talking about, oh man, wouldn't it be cool if they made this mode? And like, if it's done well, like I don't think those ideas can and should exist. It's just like we've also learned that if you get out of your lane, right, how are you going to support all that when Arc Raiders, as you're pointing out, it already has enough issues, that it needs a lot of support. We're going to want new maps soon. It's going to become more and more toxic. And then it doesn't have like a full wipe mechanic, right? That's gonna like suddenly make it like, oh man, it was getting really nasty out there. And so anyway, to finish the point on PvE, I do think it is frustrating at times. Like I've actually only gone after the queen once because of the amount of time the game takes to like just keep a decent kit. I hate running with a free kit personally, and that's just my play style. So like it's so expensive for me to like kind of run in with even just like a couple green guns and the ammo that I went in one time and actually we were doing okay. And of course, like some rats just bored, come up, shoot you in the back.
We need to play
we should. You gotta flip the script, baby. But anyway, like I've played tons of extraction in other games, so I was like, well, that sucks, and I don't have like tons of gear fear. It's the time fear. And I'm like, dude, I feel like I was fun, but then I don't know. I get into it with this game where I feel like I did a run or two and then things go really like awry, and I feel like it could just use more balance is the point at times. Like you're saying, maybe solutions for if you're in these big PvE fights, they can do stuff. But I'll even be doing trials sometimes, and I just personally feel like it's pretty expensive to fight against the Arc when you could just get shot in the back,
trials. I don't know how much everyone else knows about trials, but it's a really cool system that adds a lot of longevity to the game, but it's definitely got some like implementation flaws. But it basically resets every week, and it gives you objectives to do, like damage the queen.
Yeah.
And you get
Shoot down hornets.
you know, like a rank A, B, C, and S, but it's just like stars, right? And the higher you rank you get like a once-off, you know, green, blue, or purple drop.
Yeah.
But then
you have to
puts you
extract.
in like a leaderboard where you're versing 100 other people, and it gives you a ranking to maintain, which then leads you to cosmetics. So like each week you're kind of on this little treadmill, like, oh, I've got to keep my rank by doing whatever objective Embark sets for me.
That's like a gacha game thing. A lot of gacha games do events like that, where it just tosses you into a leaderboard with 100 people.
The UI is incredibly similar to mobile gacha games with like little stars, and it gives you like a box. Of course, because it's all PvE focused too. There's no like kill plays to get this rank. People will work out the best way to manipulate that system to get the highest score. So, for example, one of them was like kill airborne arcs, and there's an arc in the game that's flying. It's called a snitch, and if it catches you, it sends down other arcs.
In more,
If you kill it and you pick up its core, you can actually spawn arcs, and normally you would use that to throw at other players. So what people were doing is they were farming snitches, getting a bazillion cores. They throw all the cores down, and then they spawn their own enemies, and then they blow them all up. I think that's kind of funny and kind of cool, but it also like the sweat levels of it were like people were at like 100, 200,000 score, and the average player would be like 20. And so it was like, well, if you didn't invest like 2 days farming snitch cores, you were not on the leaderboard, and you were going to get demoted, right? So overall, though, I like the system, and there are other things people are abusing, like certain game modes that were glitching or getting extra time for, and all this kind of stuff. Like the core principle of it is we want you to perform the best you can doing a certain objective, and that is kind of fun, and compete against other real players to do it and to get some cool rewards for it.
Yeah, the
but
idea
there's like bugs and stuff and nerfs that they did that, you know, like this week they took out a thing called Hidden Bunker because people were abusing that game mode, and they already have like 200,000 on the leaderboard. So now everyone's like, well, now you've taken it out, I can't compete with it to get on the leaderboard.
Yeah, it's interesting. The leaderboard stuff personally doesn't grab me, but I'm just not that type of player, I guess. But it was part of it was like the skins, and like there doesn't seem to be any real promise. Like I don't feel like I'm going to be walking around in 2 months and I got top 1 and people are like, oh my God, like, you know, it's not like a title in Destiny.
This is what I've been asking for in Destiny. Like I want cosmetics that not everyone has. And that is a reward for playing the game. So I like that aspect of it.
No, I do like that. I mean, maybe part of it is I looked at the cosmetic. I was like, I don't know. It's like
they're not very good at showing you what the cosmetics are. That's part of the issue.
I went and looked at it. You can look at it in the
you can look at it, but like it should be linked easier so you can click on the rewards and actually like see what they are, not have to scroll through your like locked cosmetics to look at it.
Yeah, that would be nice. But my point was, I looked at it, I was like, I don't know, I don't like more than half the skins in there. And I was like, you're gonna give me this for all this effort. But putting that aside, I actually really like the system. And yeah, it'll send you to do PvE stuff, but it goes back to what I said. I feel like that is where there's a balance thing. Like I've played, I don't know, 120 hours. Myelin, how much have you played?
Almost 200.
Exactly. So for you, you've got a lot more hours in investment. But my point is, like, multiple times, dude, solo in particular, and that's what makes this hard. It feels just they got to get the balance right. I like that it's punishing actually, but I'll be like fighting a Rocketeer with whatever, an anvil and a hull cracker on my own, and like I'll just be working on it a while. But then you still got to extract, and like you get shot in the back, and you're like, well, I mean, it feels almost like for nothing. And sounds so I kind of stopped.
Sounds like a lot of skill issues.
Yeah, what? Getting shot in the back by a rat? I mean, come on, dude. That's not a skill issue when you're solo.
No. Okay, so I would like to challenge this point, right? Okay, because I see this a lot, and I think this is people that are new to extraction shooters.
Well,
it's like that. Well, PvP and extraction shooters is not necessarily a mouse and keyboard skill thing. It is like you learn where the spawns are. You learn where someone could be nearby. You're listening out for someone. And if you get caught up with a Rocketeer, like someone is probably going to come third party you. So if you can't disengage from that, then you're going to get third party. And you kind of just need to accept that you've made too much noise and someone's going to come kill you because you're spending too much time on that Rocketeer. When you're doing, like when I did the Rocketeer trials, I just took in all wolf packs and you have to just burn the Rocketeers really quick, right? And move on. So it's like,
easy. So what, if you have no blueprint for a wolf pack though, what are you going to do?
Yeah, that's the game. You have
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, so you have to play 200 hours? Is this the argument?
Yes.
Oh.
yes,
That's how you get trials. Now, but for real, this is what I'm getting at. Like you're describing, well, you should have brought in a lot more gear and better. I'm like, I don't have it. I've played 120 hours. What do you want me to do? You should farm money. There's an exploit to farm money, bro. I don't want to do that. I want to run in circles. I'm just trying to play the game and get some balance. But I'm not, I agree with you is my point on like the whole point. It's just, I think could use some balance. It's pretty punishing.
I would like to play with
PvE.
you and see the strategies that you're implementing.
Let's see Fran strats. Yeah.
I would like to see your strats.
But
I
let's
want to
just
see Fran strats and Nightreign too. Can
But
we have
there's-
a day of Fran?
No, but I
showing
like
us the
this-
strats.
But I like this
Yeah.
point. Like, let's just assume I'm an average player. So are you suggesting I'm a bad player? Which is fine if you are.
think
Because if you're saying you have to be above average just to
listen.
do, you see what I'm getting at?
No, I think if you get shot in the back, I think a lot of people blame the other person for being toxic rather than being like, did I make too much noise? Did I spend too much time here? Did I use the environment to the best of my ability? Did I like reposition after shooting the rocket? Like, I think there's a lot of things as a player you can do to prevent.
Yeah, of
like,
course. I mean,
yeah, but I think when people say I just got shot in the back, people are like, I did everything I possibly could to avoid a PvP encounter,
right.
which is,
I mean,
don't
it was a
think
bit
is
of
true.
hyperbole, by the way, because
Yeah, I
like
know what you mean,
I'm
but-
just saying
but
like
people
you
do
do get
say
shot in the
that,
back. I died
People
to
do,
ARC sometime
you know,
after I finished
like-
my trials.
Like
that.
for example, I've found because we're coming close to expedition. Previously, a lot of people would not shoot you at extract. They would be pretty friendly. I've been betrayed a lot at extract now. So like now I start bringing smokes and I don't trust anyone.
I bring
As soon as
smokes
I go
every
in
time.
there, I smoke the extract and I get out because I just can't really deal with someone doing that. But if I didn't and I got shot in the back, I would probably just, they're just talking like, I was like, well, there are things I could have done and I should have brought in gear wise that could mitigate.
Totally.
The
And
social
again,
part of the game.
I think, I absolutely do agree with you, by the way. I was just trying to make a point. Like, I didn't actually get shot in the back. Usually I've died to other ARC. Like, suddenly you find yourself, like, out in the open, and suddenly there's, like, you didn't have enough time because the amount of time, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Like, the bigger issue was, in this example, I didn't have 3 wolf packs to burn on my own. And it's like, well, you should team up with a group of 3. Or, you could probably farm a bunch of other things to bring in that would take down the Rocketeer faster. But I only have the Hull Cracker for the most part and like high penetration bullets. And so, again, hindsight's 2020. And my point I just wanted to make was like, I actually really like the trial stuff. I was just saying, like, I feel like it could.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
it's
no, I
about
think-
how you got to extract. It feels a
I
bit
think your
rough.
opinion is good because a lot of it does reflect a lot of what people have issues with the game. And like, yeah, I've done 200 hours and I've found a single blueprint for that grenade that is very good at taking out the Rocketeer.
Yeah.
And I do legitimately think that that is an issue end game. And I think blueprints, for those who don't play the game, blueprints are things you find once and it allows you to craft them endlessly.
Yeah.
And for example, this one blueprint basically lets you craft, let's put in Destiny terms, lets you craft Galahorn, which is incredibly good on all the flying stuff. And then when you have a trial that says
It's insanely
kill the
good,
flying
yeah.
shit, you just craft a bazillion Galahorns and you go in and shoot rockets and everything and you're done. Fran doesn't have it. I had it. So it's like,
Yeah,
you
the
know,
blueprints relate for sure.
yeah.
Like, I'm lucky I have an anvil, right? I actually have a Bettina as well, which at least for penetration of stuff.
I think the interesting part of this conversation is like, I was saying, blueprints should be easy. You should be able to get this and that. And then someone in my chat was like, well, we kind of were asking this in Destiny, like not everyone should get everything. Like you need to chase them there, like need to work towards it. Like you don't want to just hand everything out to everyone.
Yeah.
And I was like,
But you need a
kinda true
path
as
for
well.
some of that important stuff. And
You do need-
maybe
Yeah.
maybe that's the question here. Is like, do you actually need wolf packs to like get a 3-star on a night raid Rocketeer run as solo, right? And if you're like, yes, you need to bring wolf packs, I'd be like, well, yeah, that's why I keep failing it. I only have
I would say yes.
two that
I
I've
would
been
say
sitting on.
100%. I would say 100%. You need to either find wolf packs or you need to craft them to achieve a 3-star. And 100% on a leaderboard, you would need to have a whole team doing it.
Yeah. And maybe to cap this off, out of curiosity, in your 200 or so hours, how many blueprints do you have? Do you happen to know? Estimatedly, because there's 74 in the game.
Not off the top of my head, I'd probably have under half.
Yeah, but I mean, exactly. They really seem like they slowed down. I've been
two epic weapons, like one wolf pack and one's patina. So
yeah, I've been stuck at like 22 for a long time. I just got to my 23rd, and it definitely, some of it I think is in relation to trials. It feels like they've got some blueprints trapped in there, which part of that's really cool. But then I feel like I do so many night raids and high value areas, and like it feels like you got to like look up stuff on YouTube to find a blueprint, and I'm like, and I don't want free blueprints either, and so that's where I'm kind of frustrated with the game as well. I'm like, dude, I'm doing all these runs and I'm just getting more mats and stuff, which is great, but it was probably hour 50 was the last time I was getting lots of those moments of like, bling, you're getting a blueprint. So it feels like they intentionally throttle it when you're like a third of the way through or something, which I don't love. And I know people do argue that what you were saying is like, well, that's kind of the meta of this season. That's your build. And I'm like, yeah, but there's stuff that you really need. Like, Wolfpack rounds. It's taken away from my gameplay enjoyment for sure.
Wolfpack rounds that really lead into the Yallerhorn thing.
Yeah,
here.
Wolfpack grenades, sorry. Yeah.
They're called Wolfpack grenades. And when they explode, they're homing missiles from Gallahorn. Yeah. They're like the little... They explode, and these little wolf pack
they're awesome.
Come out and
super satisfying to use.
Cool. Yeah, it's very satisfying to use. Look, I agree with you when it comes to balancing on blueprints, but I also like challenge points when people are like, the whole shot me in the back is like, welcome to extraction.
Yeah,
like, that's that's part of the game.
Totally, and I'm not condemning that. And you're right. Like I set traps down, dude. Like I've done that. I don't know if you were here last time. I was telling a story about the apricots, dude, the fruit jackass. If anyone remembers my last story, but I like that. I actually like setting up traps, but it takes a lot of time to get the experience as well as the materials to do all that.
There you go. Welcome to our Arc segment.
I mean, speaking of Wolfpack, I'd like to talk about Destiny.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely.
I want to talk about. Didn't Metroid Prime launch today? Did anybody play that?
It did.
I have an unopened copy.
Unopened. Okay.
Unopened.
I figured it might be too early.
I want to hear about it, but
nobody's played it yet, right?
No. I can't wait to jump in.
Is it only on the Switch? Is that the story?
Switch 1 and 2, yeah.
Oh, it's
Myelin
on Switch
hates
one? Oh yeah,
the
it is on
Switch.
Switch 1.
I'm about to give it away, mate.
I haven't played another Switch game though. I wouldn't mind talking about real quick because nobody else is going to care about this game. But it's called Ball X Pit. I think people call it Ball Pit.
I love it.
You love it?
Yeah.
This game
I played
is
the demo on Steam Next Fest. I haven't
so fun.
played it since release, but yeah, it's great.
So it's like a combination of Vampire Survivors and Arkanoid, where you're not necessarily bouncing a ball up and down like a game screen. You're shooting balls instead, so you don't have to catch the ball. I think it's the main difference between like Arkanoid and this game. But you are also like kind of on the same upgrade path as you are in Vampire Survivors. So you'll randomly like level up, or not randomly, but as you gain experience, you'll level up, and you'll have a choice of like different upgrades that are randomly presented to you. And as you progress, like kind of on the larger meta game, then you are presented with better and better upgrades, and your characters get more powerful as you go. But it's an extremely satisfying gameplay loop. I would say it does have like a base building aspect to it, which I just couldn't care less about. Like, I just,
oh really?
No, I can't. I just can't get into it. I don't care.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah, I just want to bounce the balls against walls and like try and destroy as many enemies as I can. Like I am
The
really
interesting thing about the base
that.
building is you have to bounce balls to build stuff.
Yes, you do.
So like it applies the same mechanic where you like Age of Empires or something. You put the blueprint down and the beams go up, but you need the workers to go there, and you bounce the workers, and they've got to pass. They've got to pass through the plot of land to build it. So there is a little bit of strategy when you're building stuff to make sure you've got stuff lined up. So when you ricochet everything around, you actually build your base. But yeah, I mean, the other part of the game's good too.
It is a very satisfying gameplay loop though. Like I really do have fun with it. It's one of those games where just like Vampire Survivors did to me, where I'm just constantly like, oh, one more try. Like this, I think even more so than Vampire Survivors is there's just more. If sometimes Vampire Survivors could really feel like luck of the draw as far as the what upgrades that I get, and like, oh, this just wasn't my run. Whereas this very much feels like, look, if I approach this correctly, like, and the levels are much more. The levels are pretty predictable. Like you can learn the levels, and you can learn like kind of the boss fights and like what's coming, and you can really like kind of get good at a level. And then when you try a new character or you don't get the upgrades that you had last time, you can kind of like adapt to it. It's really fun. It's quite a good game.
Maybe I'd like my Switch. I should have got on Switch, not Steam.
Yeah, it's a perfect Switch game. Absolutely.
Yeah, nice. Very nice.
My silly casual game lately has been RV There Yet. I don't know if you guys have played that at all. If you enjoyed
played
I
it.
haven't played,
played
but
it.
saw.
I mean, somebody. Well, we've got like a group of 6 of us that like to game together, and that game is only for 4. So we modded it.
Oh,
Modded it too. We got 6 of us in there. It's just been silly, goofy fun. But
what's
if you
the loop of the gameplay again?
basically the idea is that you have an RV and you need to get it. The road's out of commission, and you're just trying to get out of the wilderness, mountains and everything. So you need to survive the perils of the wilderness and get your RV out without having a proper road to travel. So you're winching it to things, you're taking it on dirt roads, you've got bears and snakes, and if you need a boost of energy, you look like the guy from Up, like the old man from Up.
Yeah.
And you're chugging light beers to get a quick little speed boost. Smoke a cigarette real quick, and there's all kinds of silly ways to get quick little buffs and whatnot. But it's just silly fun.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun.
It's like a puzzle solving game with an RV, and you got to do maintenance on the RV as well along the way.
It seems like it's a slight twist on like SnowRunner and what's the new one called? Expedition something. But
it's a lot
yeah,
like Peak.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I haven't played Peak either.
Have you guys heard the term friend slop?
Yes.
What?
I hate it. But
Term what?
Friend slop.
Fran is just not on the internet, I don't think, which is really
describes-
impressive.
I'm with you, Fran. I'm in the dark. What is this? What are you talking about?
It's meant to describe
Friend Slop
games
is
like
Peak and RV
Yeah.
and Among Us and
Oh,
right.
Get your
So-
buds together and play something stupid kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think it also, I don't think it's necessarily meant to be derogatory,
Sounds like
is,
it.
but it
yeah.
definitely, like, I mean, like the term slop, I think just is, kind of
Yeah.
like
Of
a
course,
negative
yeah, it's
term.
a derogatory
But
word.
it,
Well, I
it
think
does
they're
sort
trying to
of
say that, like-
accurately describe like a game that, the physics probably aren't 100%, and it looks like it might have been kind of like thrown together in 3 months as opposed to like years of like dedicated, so it does kind of work, but I just don't like the term because of the slop,
yeah,
I
I
get
think
it.
people are trying to imply there was less thought or development, or it was quickly made just to make a buck, right?
It's like, oh, another friend
Or that
slop
it's
game. They're gonna
derivative.
make like millions of dollars and then
I got
go make
plenty
another
of,
one.
I got plenty of friend slop card games and board games in the cabinet too that we bust out
Yeah.
every now and then. It's not a good game, but it's silly for one night. You have a couple of beers and you're chilling with the buds. Yeah.
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 Yeah. And
I
there's
mean-
I
nothing
think there's
wrong with
anything wrong
like
with that.
spending $10 to have a good night with your mates, you know?
That's
yeah,
right.
Probably the
and you
cheapest
kind
night
of
out you'll
want a
have.
different game kind of to rotate in and out.
Often. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like bad movie night, yeah. Like, but that feels better, right? Like the term bad movie night. You're like, well, yeah, but like we don't want anything serious.
Yeah.
Maybe it needs a different term. Because yeah, I mean, AI slop in particular, I think is what everybody thinks of immediately, and just
Yeah.
those two terms next to each other, you're like, no, don't like that.
Yeah. I don't know. This game looks like
Anyways.
a lot of fun. Honestly.
Renegades?
Are we there yet?
Yeah, it's silly. It's nothing like I get tired of it sometimes, but you know, it's fun for an hour just to goof off and have
Yeah.
a good time.
So Renegades.
Renegades.
New Destiny expansion has launched. This is a collaboration with Star Wars. Now, just to say, in case anyone is confused, this is not a Star Wars story. It is Star Wars working officially with Bungie on making something that feels kind of Star Warsy, but is still using like Destiny universe stuff. Destiny Friend. I read Friend
Destiny
Zone.
Friend Slop.
Yeah, Friend Slop. Destiny
there.
Friend Slop. Destiny lore, Destiny characters, Destiny story.
Disney slop.
Disney
So
Slop.
it's not like what they did when they added the Halo stuff, where it was kind of saying there's a multiverse and like Halo exists in the other universe and stuff's come through the portal and that's how you have Master Chief's pistol. It's more
No,
like
you'll know this, Myelin. The Proxic Order, right?
yeah.
They're
Yeah.
Jedi.
Are they actually called Jedi or they're just
No,
Jedi
they're
adjacent?
they're and like
They have
there's
those types of
lightsabers, but
powers.
they're called Proxic blades.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So
that was
they're-
basically
they're talking about it in Destiny lore, and like Dredgen Bale is in there, but he
Yeah,
is
he's meant to be Kylo Ren or something. is he?
Basically.
he's
yeah.
kind of yeah. So yeah,
He's an angry boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I haven't played it, so tell us about it, Fran.
I know TV has been watching a lot on it. Maybe before I go, did you want to say anything about it? Because I have played it, yes.
From the perspective of somebody who has not played Destiny in about a year, from the outside looking in, I will say it looks like Destiny's still doing Destiny things where we get some really fun looking a new suite of exotic armor pieces that do cool things. You get the jetpack for the Titans. That's cool. Like some of that stuff just looks cool and fun. The whole Star Wars motif, I think works for Destiny. It doesn't really break the third wall too much. I don't think. I mean, it's obviously a crossover thing, but it
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
works within the world of Destiny. It's
Yeah.
fantastical and futuristic. So it works.
Mm-hmm.
The campaign. Some of my things from the outside looking in were I wanted to know, is the campaign good? I heard the campaign was, and I watched some of the missions. Fun but fast and not hard. It was really just leaning into let's just do a fun Star Wars thing. 6 to 8 hours was what I was hearing, and the legendary difficulty mode was a cakewalk, is what I was told. Would you agree?
Well, I haven't played a ton yet. I have an adjacent Destiny is still crashing PC Steam issue thing, which I'm still trying to fix. So yeah, I can get into it if you want, but yeah, don't spoil anything for me if.
No, I won't spoil. No spoilers for sure. By the way, if you're watching or listening, I certainly I'm not intending to spoil any story beats. But it seems like it's quick, not overly challenging, really leans into the Star Wars thing, but isn't so. From what I've seen, it doesn't look like it's really relying on the mechanic side of things to be overly Star Warsy, where you had Edge of Fate, which was let's really lean into the Metroidvania. Let's do the matter spark everywhere that we possibly can shove this thing into the game. We're going to shove it in there. And Renegades looks like it's more like Star Wars is the lens through which you're seeing this new campaign and
Yeah.
changes the way you experience it for sure, but it's not like trying to shove it down your throat. Like you're not every mission going to be driving an ATST. Stuff like that. I do think that the whole lightsaber thing looks really cool, being able to change your colors, and I like that. Also, full sending on cosmetics. I always thought it was silly when we got cosmetics. We're like, we're trying to kind of hint at this other thing, and then they got to the point where they're like, no, let's just do it. This is a Dungeons and Dragons crossover, so you're just gonna straight up 1-to-1 look like a Displacer Beast. And they did the same thing with Renegades, where they're like, no, you're gonna look like Din Djarin, or you're gonna look like Bo-Katan, or you're gonna look like Boba Fett. Straight up 1-to-1 copy of the armor, and I kind of appreciate that. I don't know about you. Do you think, does that break the third wall for you? Does that kind of screw over your immersion?
So far, I haven't seen anything like that. So there may be more of that. I mean, I think the ST, Cabal things, whatever they're called, that's like slightly. And in like seeing a cutscene with a choreographed lightsaber Praxic blade fight, you can't help but be like, that one really, like, well, but it's cool and it doesn't feel like out of place because Destiny was inspired by Star Wars in the first place. But I could see some people being like a little bit jolted because, like, I mean, the ATSDs in particular is like practically 1-to-1, but they're Cabal things or something. But it doesn't bother me at all because once you hear from Bale and you're like, well, that's 100% Kylo Ren inspiration. You can't not think about it. But I don't see it as a bad thing. It actually, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I think the issue is you get to like the Fortnitification of games where it's every expansion's just like a collab rather than them doubling down on their own thing. And, like if you look at Warframe, like Warframe doesn't do collabs. Like it's like, this is our design, this is our theme. You either love it or hate it. Like this is how our armor looks, this is how our enemies look. We are our own genre game. And we're not like compromising on that to make our characters look like different franchises.
Yeah. I think the good news is what I've seen so far is, Destiny, after it finished up things with the final shape and the light and dark story and all that, I think it's finding its footing. And frankly, what I see here is, man, the team needs a moment of inspiration, a moment of support from the higher levels to be like, don't F this up, some real attention on Destiny. And like, that's what I feel when I jump into Star Wars Renegades. Now I want to be clear, right? I love the way that like it opens because it's, I load it up, I'm on a menu with like that, the strings and like the flutes in the background from Star Wars, but it's blending with like the OG Destiny theme. And then boom, you get straight into like some of the best cutscenes that I've seen yet in Destiny. And not for story content necessarily, but from just, man, I can't believe they continue to support that team and let them cook, because I would have assumed, right, that they would have stripped out like as much budget as possible. They're spending some real money on this stuff, whether or not there's enough in, Renegades throughout, I can't speak to yet, but yeah, so basically, right, it starts the way I love it when I come to a new expansion is what I'm getting at. What I want to do, I do not want to load into the destinations and then pick a mission. I do not want to be sent to the tower. I just want to start the new experience, and like the menus there, we pop right into like really good cutscene setup. They have the recap in there, which I've constantly said, yes, do these every time, and they're really well done now. They've actually, you really see like the rhythm, and they understand like, oh yeah, this is a really good way to start an expansion. And then you like literally jump into the first mission, and you're literally landing, with the, I'm not going to spoil anything major, but you're landing with the Drifter on Death Star basically. And it fits, like, yeah, as TV I think was saying, like, it just like, yeah, it's Star Wars, but it looks like this really like kind of, the Cabal who've hidden away into this new faction, or I forget what the explanation is, but it works, but it's totally still Star Wars inspiration. And then you realize they're, instead of, I think everyone's fear is like, oh, they're going to put Star Wars in Destiny. No, they're inspired by it, first of all, and it's really, I think, fired up the artists and the writers and all this. And I'm just speaking to the first mission right now, by the way. So, but anyway, within that, they literally are doing homage after homage, like 1-to-1, like, hey, if you've seen Star Wars, like, yeah, or were you watching? Did you see that shot? Like, yep, that was literally shot for shot inspired by Star Wars. So like an example without ruining is like they're just in the old, I forget why the ship is all rickety, but it's like a much more rickety ship with the drifter. Maybe that's just how drifter ship is, but the way it's like shaking and everything's rattling and the sparks are flying in the cinematography is like you're just not, you normally don't see, I think, all of that inspiration and nuance. And so it feels really cool. It feels very Star Wars inspired. And I love that. But anyway, the first mission is like substantial. Really amazing music. It's still just Destiny, I would say, but all that inspiration, it made me feel really good. This is the type of stuff I like to come back for. So you get through that first mission. It's got like a pretty challenging boss. I was on Legend, but it wasn't insane or anything. I thought it was fine. Not actually as I would say imbalanced as, to me, Edge of Fate at first was pretty like a little rough on Legend, and then it smoothed out. But yeah, that was like super hyped. But then it loads me into the tower after that mission. And even worse, because they still have issues. I don't know if it's just on Steam or what, but it's like black screens for like 2 minutes with the little loading. Because now they're dropping like the campaign and just your experience for like, we're just trying to load you into a social space in the tower to literally, by the way, to just go talk to Zavala. And again, no major spoilers. Zavala's like, well, I don't totally approve of you doing this outside our, system of things, but okay then. And that's the only reason you go there. And then it has to load you into the new social space, which is like basically, where's the cantina again? Is that Mos Eisley?
Yeah, Mos Eisley.
So then they load you into there, which is pretty exciting. But that whole thing, it starts to like, and it introduced me to the order menu, which is like the new live service bounty system, right? And so personally, I'm not there for that in Destiny, and I think I'm at odds with other players for that. But I'm like, oh man, I was so hyped after that fight, and now you want me to go walk around like this Mos Eisley inspired cantina. And I do like the inspiration, but it just kind of slowed things down for me. Anyway, then it starts to pick up again, but then they have to introduce you to the new activity. And so it's like, well, load into this. And then like the waypoints are like, you know how like Destiny's at a point now where there's all these player overlays, and then there's like the diamond waypoint markers, but then there's like the seasonal renegade marker, and you have to make sure to track your quest for things to work. Anyway, what I'm trying to share is I was just like a little frustrated. I'm like, where am I supposed to be going right now? Like, it's just really like for a campaign expansion.
I'm getting flashbacks.
Well, right. And
Please
you can
stop.
I know. Well, as somebody who's played Destiny for, all of its existence and more with the alpha and beta, like I'm used to it, but it for me, it's a real buzzkill for the pace. And you can feel that like
back to reality.
Well, to me, I feel the fishing lines of like, hey, like we want you to play for 20 hours a week as well. Like we don't want you to just enjoy yourself for this 8 to 10 hours and check out. And I'm like, I kind of just want to enjoy myself for 8 to 10 hours and check out. So anyway, unfortunately, I have some like PC crashing issues, but I get into the new activity and I was able, I think, to do like the first step, and then it wants to like bring you back into it. So you're kind of getting back into that. So I haven't done whatever this second mission may be, but structurally what I'm trying to impart is it's not like you just have like a mission and then like another cool cutscene and, maybe you do an activity and it throws you into the next big cinematic moment. I don't know how long that is out, but it's kind of just back to old Destiny for now. But it is fun and I do enjoy it. It's funny how when I come back to it now, when I do these activities, I'm like, it just feels so close to Diablo. There's so many enemies on screen, just, same animation coming at you. And just like, you want to use whatever explosive perks you have. And it's like kind of enjoyable, but it starts to wash over me where there's not quite enough new things. And ending that point, what I wanted to say was they did, though, as you may have seen in the ViDoc, the video docs, they introduced like a new control option, which is huge. And I do want to praise it, which is meaning like on mouse and keyboard, there's a new button that you're going to use when you're playing to, it's like the Gambit coin, you flip up this hologram of like a Gambit type coin, and then you're choosing one of your powers. You get 2 that you're going to slot. But when you think about that, it's awesome because you now have 2 more powers that layer on top of everything. I think it's pressing the R3 or something on controller. And that is awesome. That is exactly what Destiny is. It's more new stuff other than just like, hey, this gun has another like heal clip explosive roll that's not exact to those perks, but it's similar. So anyway, overall, I'm really enjoying it if I can keep my PC from crashing, but I'm not like in the live service slowdown of like do this activity and then I kind of just was hoping it was a little more through line of like do this stuff for 8 hours or I don't know how long it is and then you can kind of do the live service stuff, but we'll see where it goes for me.
I think for me,
I've heard a lot of really good things. I just want to say, like, I've heard a lot of really good stuff. I'm not super locked in, but in terms of like people in my community who are talking about it, they come and chat, and I'm like, "How are you finding it?" They're having a really good time, and they're like, "This is one of like the most fun campaigns I've kind of experienced." So it seems like people are having a good time with the guns and the lightsabers and the campaign. So.
Yeah, like I don't even have a lightsaber. I've heard there's some surprises. I was looking at like I think Twitch activity, and I saw somebody was in sort of like some ascendant style realm, which I always like. And so there's a lot that I don't know. So this is very incomplete impressions right now. It's bear in mind. But I would really what I wanted above all to say is like if you have the recent pass for the year or you're just, money is no object or whatever. And you're like, I just wouldn't mind checking it out. I'm telling you, just play that first mission at least. It might only take you 30 minutes or whatever, but it's totally cool and see what you think.
One of the biggest challenges for me to overcome with Destiny is this feeling of there's just nothing they could throw at you that would canonically make sense for it to be a challenge. Does that make sense? Like, because when you think about the lore of Destiny, and all of these like mythological figures and entities that they've only showed up in like lore bits every now and then. And then an expansion came out and we met this character and they were supposed to be the biggest, most strongest, most powerful of their kind or whatever. We have outgrown everybody in the Destiny universe. We have killed Oryx.
Yeah.
We have twice. We've killed Crota. We've killed Atheon. We've killed like
the Witness.
You think of like we've killed the friggin' Witness and
shattered.
I feel like where do you can't just keep this is like what happens with TV shows like really good series. Eventually you hit a point where they just have to end because you have to keep one-upping yourself every season. You beat the big bad guy. The hero beat the big bad guy last season. Now you need a new bigger, badder bad guy. And then you have to keep raising the ante and raising the ante. And then this is one of the things that Bife talked about in his review of the Renegade stuff. He's like, I had a lot of fun with it, don't get me wrong. But thematically, the challenge is that I have a new NPC calling me rookie. And it's like, dude, the Guardian is... At what point does the Guardian get the respect that they are owed for everything they have accomplished? They have literally shifted the power balance of the entire universe on its head.
I mean, they do call you a weapon, which is pretty nice.
And so it's like, I feel, nice. I'm kind of like that with live service games now, kind of having Destiny as a case study. But I'm at that point where I'm like, okay, I feel like live service games need to have a shelf life where it's like eventually they need an expiration date where your character needs to be retired. As the player, you eventually need to step out of that character's shoes because that character is now, there's nothing that you can throw at them canonically that makes sense for it to be a challenge unless you just start going more cosmic, more godlike, more, and then it just becomes like unrelatable. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I think I really want a game that's grounded. I want to feel threatened by a grunt. You know what I mean? So eventually I feel like you just need to shift focus out of that character's shoes into a new character's shoes, and that's why sequels exist or new games entirely.
I think I know I've praised Warframe a lot, and I often do, but I think they solve a lot of these problems, and I think Warframe's story solved this problem because there was this overarching nemesis, but they just kind of told really good character stories. They also did something that I thought Destiny should always do, is like a flashback storyline, we don't want to tell stories about big baddies. Why not give us the Dark Age? Why not give us, when we beat Lord Shaxx, and tell some of those background stories that are not always like the big bad villain all the time, that are just kind of cool stories sitting in the background that you just read about rather than doing it. And I think that's where a lot of the interesting stuff happens. And if you go too many times to like big bombastic villain is always destroying the universe, then like it can kind of feel pretty repetitive. Whereas something like Warframe, like introduced a new ability, gave you a whole backstory to your like operator. They like introduced new lore that your Warframe is operated by a person inside that can like transfer into it, and they let you play that whole scenario out. They let you go be this kid on a ship, and you were like one of the scenes you're like doing tests and stuff on a spaceship, on a colony ship, you know, and that's like, you know, world building without having a big bad villain all the time.
Sure. And like Marvel has had that issue with some of their movies too. No, I mean, like, because there's other creative ways to introduce a bad guy that's not just bigger, bitter, better, stronger. I think of Marvel did this with the Winter Soldier story arc in their movies, because everything was getting so big and cosmic with Thanos, and then suddenly you just have this normal dude that broke the whole Avengers apart with Civil War, where he comes in and just creates a rift, and that was his whole thing, was just creating a rift. And so I like when you have big bads that are like that, where they create moral dilemmas, because where you fall on ethical and morality stuff can really present a challenge
Destiny's
that's
done it a
greater
lot,
than
though, as
just
well.
Yeah. But
Destiny kind of does that with every villain.
Yeah,
With the exception
but I
of
feel
Rolk,
like
maybe. Or even Rolk's a little bit like that.
But I feel like we just had a whole arc, a whole story arc for 10 years that was all about escalation, wasn't it? Because we started pretty basic with let's fight the Cabal on Mars, and then things got bigger from raid to raid, and then it was we're fighting the disciples of the Witness until eventually we take out the Witness themselves. Like everything just kept escalating to this higher tier, like it was a prince. A Hive Prince, and then eventually we fought the Hive King, and then it was there's something more powerful than that. We had the Witness and his disciples, so we had to escalate again. It just kept being escalation, and I'm kind of fatigued by it, I suppose.
Well, chat is saying that the campaign has fixed all of the complaints pretty much, or getting to there with what you're saying, TV. So I'd be curious when Fran has finished it, if you can, because if you don't stop crashing. But yeah, people are saying TV is literally talking about Renegades. I have no idea about the intricacies in front of me.
You guys probably know more. Not probably. You guys definitely know more about it than I do at this point. I'm just speaking from the perspective that someone who is disengaged, not actively engaged, because I felt like I had a good capstone, to my Destiny experience.
You watched Bife's review of Renegades. Did Bife not say that Renegades kind of solves this issue of having the big bad all the time? Because chat's kind of saying that
I don't want to
solves this issue.
I'm trying to stay away from story spoilers.
Okay.
I will say that Bife thought it was fun, but not challenging, and he felt like the new NPCs did not give the Guardian the respect that they deserved, considering what we have accomplished, considering where we've been and what we've done and who we've taken down.
Yeah, man, it's interesting because what little I've played, and I'm not a lore master as much as we joke about it. It feels like a side story, and to a point, Edge of Fate. I know that it wasn't, and it's setting up something bigger with the 9 and all that stuff. But I guess it's always different, because like I don't care what stories you want to tell. I mean, it's important to me, but like I'm looking for new gameplay. Like I've been playing the same game for 11, 12 years or whatever it's been now. And so for me, I don't care how good your story is. Like, you're not going to get me to come back if like the level design isn't awesome, the sort of tactile feel of like moment to moment. And so, yeah, I liked the first mission because mostly just the level design and the cinematic implementation from music to graphic. That was really cool, but it didn't do anything new for Destiny at all. And then the activity, like I said, introduces a little something new. So from the story side, yeah, we'll see. I feel a little discombobulated because it just feels like I'm watching Kylo Ren when I see Bail right now, and I don't mind it. But part of me, yeah, I'll be very curious to see where it goes. But I understand your sentiment though, and I think you're right in the core of it. We'll see if they've solved it, like some folks have been saying here. But but I want gameplay. That's less of a concern for me. What I want to, in other words, when I come out the other end of this, I want to be like, oh man, like they added all these cool like gameplay moments to the campaign, or is it just going to feel like they told like kind of a cool Destiny, Star Wars inspired story, which
Sure.
will be fine, but I'm
I
tired
think
of the same gameplay.
I think these perspectives are good because like we can see that Destiny doesn't seem to be getting any new players. So I don't know if it's going to be easier for them to get new players or to maybe kind of bring old players back. But I think the perspective of someone who isn't playing and they're like, this is what I really need to see change in order for me to be like interested at all. I think that's interesting to talk about too.
Yeah. Do you happen to own it at all, TV?
I own the DLC, just because I still get sent the stuff as a creator.
Yeah, well, exactly. But meaning, I know that you do technically have a lot of other stuff going on, but maybe sometime in between RV there yet and other stuff like I would really for this one just like meaning if you're what I wonder actually this is a real question for you. Are you sort of afraid that you'll be pulled in enough that you're going to start doing things that maybe you're like, why am I even doing this much? Because what I'm getting at is like, just do that first mission and like drop off even. I'd just be curious what you think of just that first mission. It's like a very compact, like 30, 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I struggle with this.
It's worth checking
out. For me, where I know what I'm logging into when I fire a game up. And sometimes, like for example, Borderlands 4, I knew when I fired this game up, it had an expiration date for me from the first time I logged in. I was like, I'm not going to play this forever. I'm going to play this until I'm done. I played, I just looked, Steam's over here, 75 hours of Borderlands 4, and I got to a point where I was like, I feel like I've done everything I want to do in this game. Yeah. And I felt very satisfied because it was just a story game that I played. And then I've got games like Destiny, which are branded as live service, ongoing games. And so when I log into a live service game, I have a different set of expectations about what I'm going to do and what I want out of that experience. And so for me, one of the challenges with Destiny has often been I experience a really cool campaign, but then I never go do any of that stuff again. You know what I mean? And a live service game to me, I'm looking for a treadmill activity that I really love. It's well supported, and I can engage with it at any point in any day. Just log in, do the thing, log out, and that's what like Crucible was for me for a long time. Even doing some ritual activities in PVE, like your strikes and even to like doing the dungeon grinds and stuff like that with the guys. I enjoyed that treadmill for a really long time. And my concern with something like Renegades, for example, is this sounds, by all accounts, and I'm not trying to knock it, it sounds like it's a really good campaign. Most people I don't know that I've heard a lot of negative stuff about the campaign. I've heard some nitpicky stuff, and most people seem to be really enjoying it. But it's hard for me to make that mental leap to thinking about it as just a concise package of content I'm going to experience. Yeah. And then log out like these other games. Does that make sense? And
it definitely makes sense.
That might not be fair of me. That might be very unfair of me. I don't know, but I have trouble making that distinction in my head.
I thought it was a perfect response. Like, that's why I asked, right? I'm out here, I'm like trying to sell people on like, if you've played tons of Destiny, like you should just hop in and sort of see what they're doing with this first mission. Again, is really all I can speak to. It's really, you can see the heart in it. And if you have the time and the budget, et cetera, it's like, it's a quick 30, 60. But that's what's so interesting is I'm trying to play Destiny and have been for like the past 5 to 6 years, the opposite of how you, and a lot of people, I think the majority of players play it. And that is the irony is like, I'm just trying to put in that first like 20 hours. I get sucked into a few things and then I'm like, cool, I'll come back next expansion. And I've talked about that a lot. And that's the irony. Is like, I don't think most of the player base is trying to get that.
Sure.
It's kind of funny to hear. And that's why I think they've had a lot of players drop off because of exactly what you're saying. Even no matter how good the campaign might feel, they need to hear about how good the grind is and the loot and like the new activity or whatever, I guess. Just interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
TV, when you talked about TV shows that escalate or have to like keep escalating, it made me think of Stranger Things like right away.
Yes.
Have not watched any of that.
Oh my god.
Season yet.
Outstanding.
Yeah, it is. It does present a challenge, but I feel like this is probably no spoilers, obviously. But I feel like with Stranger Things, it's like, yeah, this is a good season to go out on because going bigger from here would just, I don't think that would be good for it.
Yeah, but
I have
it's
that
like
with.
an arc that was pre-written, like so it's
Yeah,
like
that's right. That's
they
right.
can do that. They don't have to have 7 seasons in a movie.
Mm.
I have that with a fantasy novel series, the Stormlight Archives by Brandon Sanderson. Fell in love with the first book. I've loved the story the whole way. They had a new book come out just under a year ago, last holiday season. And that to me was my one big complaint about it. It's like, I love these characters, but I feel like we just have to keep escalating. And now we're dealing with these godly cosmic powers when it started out with a guy and a spear and depression. And I loved it. You know what I mean? It was like just struggling through that ground level, boots on the ground struggles, the everyday struggles of life. And now it's just so it's so like you can't put yourself in these characters' shoes anymore because they've just grown so big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a recurring theme for me, I think.
Oh, and by the way, not to get back into a bunch of Destiny stuff, but I did forget to mention the vault increase of like 300. Ultimately, that doesn't solve. I want gear management and like some kind of, I don't know, dealing with loot and all your gear is just still takes a lot of time. But it was awesome to log in and like I literally didn't have to worry. Like there was so much, just threw everything, keep throwing everything in there and playing the game. So for now, I'm real happy till I probably play
Until
a
you
few
hit the
more
max,
hours. Yeah. But honestly, that was a really big increase.
Just
so very helpful with
procrastinating the awful job of organizing your vault and making it ever harder.
Well, we'll see. I mean, but in the past, it's like, oh, here's like maybe an extra 100. I'm like, that's not enough to solve my current issues. Like, but this one is. So I got major props due on that one for now, at least. And they added a bunch of like gear filters and stuff to the vault, which I personally, I don't think it solves anything for me. So again, what I'm looking for is almost like a workflow machine of like looking at my gear in the game, where it's tied to light GG and like, a bit unrealistic, but I'm like,
ranking
it's so hard to
so you
go through
can
loot,
judge
man.
it.
Yeah. Or just like there's clearly old stuff where it's like you can just tell me at this point, Destiny, these are all like outdated perks that we're really not supporting anymore. I'll be like, great, just delete them all. I don't want to have to like search through it all is the point. Anyway.
Can we wrap this one up?
Let's see. Yeah.
Next week
Yes.
is the Game Awards.
Oh, let's
Oh
do Game
my
Awards
God, I
live.
forgot.
It's so much
Right.
fun.
I'm going to be
What
there.
day is it? Is it Thursday?
Are we dressing up?
It's
Do I need
Thursday.
to wear a suit?
Oh, I'm down to dress. Well, it's up to you. I'm down to get a little. We get a
Are
little
you going to
dressed.
be with us? Or are you going to be on site again, Fran? You going to be reporting on site?
I'll be reporting live from on site. Yeah, we'll see if I tune in with you guys, but yeah, no, I'll be down there.
Well, if
Wear
you're
a
just hanging
lapel
out in
mic.
like a room, you should just hang out with us.
Yeah,
Like,
call in for 2 hours. Somebody's like, sweet. I'm sitting on the couch talking to myself on a phone.
Now we go to Fran live. Boots on the
so
ground.
next
What you
week
got?
we will be here. I think pre-show starts at 4.
Yeah, it's usually 4 or
What's that?
4:30, right? And then
Yeah, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. And then I think it starts at like 5 p.m. like the actual show. So it's like a little bit earlier start for the podcast, and we end a little bit earlier as well. So
see how long the show is this year. I mean, I think it's normally still like 3 hours.
it's about 3.
I mean,
Yeah.
not including the pre-show, by the way. That's pretty long.
That has become one of
think.
my favorite things to do every year. Like it is
Oh, I
really
love
fun
it.
to watch that.
Myelin, hot off the press, how do you feel about Arc Raiders not making it past the first stage of fan voting?
World
I didn't
premiere.
know that. This is a. So wait, what does that mean? It's not.
So
It's
like the Game Awards
Oh,
has
for a player's voice?
like yes. So the Game Awards has something called Player's Voice, which is 100% fan voted, and they have
Okay.
stages of like here's a bunch of games you can vote for 10 of them, and then the 10 with the highest votes or whatever get moved to stage 2. Arc Raiders was in that first stage of fan voting, and they didn't make it to stage 2. How do you feel?
because everyone's too busy fucking playing a game.
Ah, that actually
I-
is
Touche.
really interesting. I mean, Wuthering Waves is still in here, I think.
Do not put
Okay.
any gotcha in there. They give you
What-
free rolls and stuff in order, like if you vote for
Dude,
us in the
that's
Game
crazy.
Awards, you get Prima Gems. And Wuthering Waves is
What
doing something.
beat
Ooh, I
it?
like Prima
Do you have a list of the games that beat it?
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, you have it. Go for
If
it.
you
Yes,
want.
please do.
Expedition
know.
33, Death Stranding 2,
Okay.
Dispatch,
Okay.
DK Bonanza, Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Hollow Knight, Silk Song, Hades 2, Ghost of Yote still on the menu for round 2 of 3, which ends December 6th at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
I mean,
Vote now and vote off.
Excluding the gacha games, they're all single player games, right?
I mean, that just goes to show you how crazy this vote is. But also, I mean, I'm sorry. I do like that there is a fan element, of course. And I actually think Player's Voice is a great category. But what more I was thinking about is how 10%, right, of the Game of the Year award,
those,
I think,
yeah.
is Players' Vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it comes from maybe it does. I don't
This
know.
is a completely
separate one.
separate thing.
Yeah.
It's a completely separate thing. So the way that the Game Awards works is they have industry veterans who will put games forward and then they'll vote on stuff, and then they also have a 10% of the players voting, the
on
community
those.
voting that can sway the
Yeah.
votes. So that's Game of the Year, that's best narrative, it's all of that.
I mean, I think it's really interesting when I guess, yeah, in this case, it's like they can put anything in there, but even then, like 10% of like, Briar was joking about like, get some gems if you just vote on this kind of attitude. And it's like, yeah, you get 10% of the vote as that, but.
No, for Player's Choice.
No, I know that. I'm saying for the Game Awards, Game of the Year, right? 10%
Yeah.
of that vote on those nominees.
But you
that
brought
the
up
critics
like
picked.
Prima Gens, Genshin Impact.
No, I was just joking that if there is something in there with like a
yes,
community.
they've done that for years. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just joking that like,
Genshin
yeah.
and Wuthering Waves are all gotcha games are like, hey, the Player's Voice Game Award stuff is live. If you vote for us and we make it to stage whatever, you'll get free Prima Gems so you can roll on characters. Yeah. For Player's Voice. Because that's 100% where they can be like, yeah, go crazy.
Is this incentive? I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't
I was
surprise me. I
surprised,
don't know.
actually.
I don't think multiplayer games. I mean, I didn't even know the voting was up, so I didn't know there was something I should have been voting on.
You weren't watching Shroud
player
streams? It is interesting. Yeah, I'm surprised it's not in there, actually. I mean, Dispatch is in here, right? Which is, by all accounts, an incredible game.
I think,
I think
you know
Dispatch
what
is
it
an
is?
incredible game. Did
But
it have more copies? Did it sell more copies than Arc Raiders? I doubt it.
So this
No.
this is the thing, right? Is
It
that
sold a lot.
Zombie is saying that calling people single player Andes, Arc Raiders are normies. So they don't know what's going on the internet. They're like, I don't know what's going on. So they're probably like realistic. Just to be serious though, they probably don't know what is going on with the Game Awards and like online stuff and all of that. It's more so just like shooter bros playing video games. So they're less tapped
be.
in with like all of this stuff. I think people who play Dispatch are more tapped in with what's going on outside of Dispatch than
Yeah,
people
it's
who
like
play Arc Raiders. And
having like
Battlefield and all
an
of those games.
art museum award, but expecting people who like really nice cars that are like technically a piece of art to vote at canvases. Do you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and that's not to. I know it's like casual Carls. Not to be disrespectful to them, but I think it's just a different type of player. I think people who play Expedition 33 and Dispatch and all of these games
yeah, it's
are just
like-
interacting more with like online stuff. So it's
Well, I
not
think,
that
like-
people wouldn't want to vote for it. I think they just didn't know that it was happening.
Yeah, and that was the point I was trying to make. Is like sometimes it's the communities that can really mobilize that just sort of show up in some of these votes. So in other words, for the Game of the Year, like you might get, I don't know which one of those has the biggest community, but it's sort of irregardless, I think, sometimes in the quality of all those games. It's just like that 10% is coming from the most loud community as part of the Game of the Year. And that's all I was saying. But like for this, though, yeah, like you were getting at, everything is random. So it'll be interesting to see what makes the cut out of these. Do you guys have any bets? What if you had to pick one game that will move forward from these?
Expedition
have it in front of
33.
yeah, Expedition 33 is basically guaranteed. So
Yeah, it feels like that's the one that this, because remember, what was it? I forget what won it last year, but the year with Wukong and was it Baldur's Gate or whatever? But Wukong was like this big upset for the community. But I feel like this year you've got like Expedition 33 is so beloved by the community and by all the critics that you might have the double down, you know?
Sure.
But Hollow Knight Silksong is in there. I think that one's definitely
It's
interesting.
not
It's got
gonna go anywhere.
You don't think it'll make it into
unfortunately.
the next round?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got
don't
one
think so.
more round after this. We'll see, but
It's always an
Anyway.
exciting time, the Game Awards. The Game Awards for
Yeah.
me, it's definitely like people definitely take it too seriously, especially with the Game Awards, because they
Yeah,
are
that's
the
my
most
favorite part.
lackluster like judging and stuff of any body
like
that
the
does
rage.
this. Yeah. So I like the looking back on, the year of gaming and going, "Oh god, remember that game in January? That was actually really freaking cool." And I like that devs get a lot of sales from being at something like the Game Awards, which this year is full of indies and like really great games. So I'm excited for them to get more traction. A lot of people, I'm seeing people play Expedition 33 now, being like, "Okay, damn, this is for the Game Awards," and people are like saying it's gonna win. So it's really cool for them. But I also, I like talking about it, and I like watching trailers, finding
Yeah,
our
I
new
like seeing
favorite
the new
games.
stuff too. All right, guys, let's wrap this one up. I got a lot of editing to do.
all right.
Next week, the Game Awards, we'll be here.
All right,
And I'll be there.
have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye,
Yeah.
everybody.
Bye.